Okay, when you are ready, introduce yourselves, introduce the run, give me a countdown for the timer, and we shall begin.
Right. Do you want to start this time, or shall I?
I'll start, sure. We start now, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah. Hello, everyone. At InstaYabathon. This is Genopanic with myself, brokenhyperlink, and Vipo.
Hello.
Say hello.
Hello.
Hello. So this is a game that only came out in May, I believe, of this year. From an indie company called Wait, I believe. I never know how to pronounce it. I'm awful with pronunciations. We'll go with that. But yeah, so this is a Metroidvania-like game. It's not exactly Metroidvania. If you play it or you watch it and stuff, you'll see the inspirations, but we don't do the backtracking, which is the major thing that makes a Metroidvania a Metroidvania. Regardless, though, we obviously still enjoy the game to the point where we speedrun it, and we are doing an any percent race. So, I guess without further ado, should we get started, Viper?
Yep, I'll let you do the countdown this time.
Alright, so we're gonna go on go. So 3, 2, 1, go. And we're off. So this game's much like most Metroidvania games. You're sent down to a planet to investigate the strange happenings going on. So first, this is our debriefing, and we are going to be let down here on karate, which translates to black mountain. A little bit of knowledge. I don't know from what language, if that's the fake language or an actual language. But here we go, coming down to land. And we're off. So first thing we'd like to do, just for fun, is kick the buckets. Just because you can, which is actually an achievement just for kicking one, but we try and kick all of them. Maybe that's my last race didn't go so well because I missed one of the buckets. So, beginning of this run is very standard. It's very safe. Nothing can really hurt you. We're just going through here trying to get the key card to get to the lower parts of this planet where all the happenings are happening. So first off, we have to hack this to let us get up the stairs. But why have stairs when you can have funky little gravity lifts? That's the future I want. I want future gravity. I want future funky gravity lifts that make you go all wibbly. So we go here, and we now have to wait for the train to take us to the next section. So, yeah. Here we go, in we go. And now we wait about 30 seconds for the splash screen and everything, so... Vipo.
Yes.
We did something interesting before this, didn't we?
Yes, we did. So, we was doing another event. We can actually say this as well. We was doing a complete-a-thon. And the game we was running was Genopanic, and it was the collect all GMOs, or save all GMOs category. So the game has several different endings to it and stuff like that. Mainly two that we've found. But yeah, there you go. This is the innocent. The innocent is a lot quicker. You cut out a lot of the stuff that you do. You pick up most of the weapons, but not all of them. So you'll notice that this run is a hell of a lot shorter. Recently, Bruno, I think it is, who has took the record for this game, has dropped it down to a mind-boggling 1 hour and 5 minutes and 52 seconds. Thanks to some incredible movement and speed tech and things like that. It's been pretty amazing to see the time come down so far. I'm not a Metroid runner at heart. I was saying to Linky, like when I first started running this, that it will be somebody will come along one day and will smash the time out the water. Anyway, that time did come around, and there you go. So yeah, first thing we got to do though is we got to go and collect a key card, and then use the key card to actually enter the station properly. Right now we're not entering any station. We just need to get the key card first. So our first one. So the first, I'd say 5 to 10 minutes is running about. There's a bit of platforming here and there, but it's not a lot to really think about, to be honest. So yeah, not too much to it. But a few things to mention first and foremost is obviously it's an indie title, as Linky was saying before, but also with this game being only a few months old, obviously speedruns have been a relatively new thing for this. I decided to do a speedrun of it for the sake of let's see how fast it is, and also can I learn this as something new for an event? Anyway, truth be told, me and I ended up playing the game through, quite enjoyed it, found it a bit difficult but enjoyable, and then ended up buying it Linky played it through, and then obviously did a few runs herself. So yeah, and then from there we've gone through both categories. There's also a mini category for those that are interested as well. So we mentioned that we're doing the any %. There is Save All GMOs, which involves, well, GMOs. And then there is a miscellaneous category called Prologue Only, because when you look up Genopanic on Steam, you'll find that there is a category for the Prologue Only. The Prologue being, well, about first 15 to 20 minutes of the game, I'd say, give or take. And it's a nice introductory guide to getting into the game.
We should say the first 15 to 20 minutes of a speed run.
Yeah. So it's like first casual playthrough, it's about first half hour, I'd say.
Yeah.
Give or take. Maybe 40 minutes at a push, but you can find a few bits in the prologue and stuff like that, and like I said, with it being free as well, it gives you a taste into experiencing Genopanic for the first time. The other thing is as well with Genopanic is that with it being like it is, it's on sale for I think a couple of bucks on the Steam store, and obviously if you wish to buy the game then you obviously can. And yeah, it's a fun, like I said, a very fun little game. Very fun little game to pick up and play. Like I said, I found it very enjoyable, and I myself quite like Metroid games, but I've not played them all and stuff like that, but I quite like this. One game that I always get told is a bit like a Metroidvania is, I think it's, well, actually no, because it's no, it's not. I was gonna say one's it's Castlevania, but that's friggin' a Castlevania. It's a different one. That's what a Metroid Castlevania game mix. That's what Metroidvania is. I got my wires crossed then. Yeah, I get told about a few games that I should play, but this was one that I'd seen. It was being advertised on Twitter, out of all places, and I just saw it and was like, this looks rather interesting. I will give this game a shot. So anyway, I requested a game key via Keymailer for the game, and the developers were kind enough to give me one, and played it through, quite enjoyed it. It took me about 2.5 to 3 hours to play it through, I think maybe a bit more than that. And I was collecting everything as I went, all the GMOs and stuff like that, because I was, you know, casually playing it. And yeah, it went down rather well. You know, as a game, as what it is, you know, it was quite an enjoyable experience. And also you can tell that this is like a Metroidvania as well, because there are times where it is cut off. Well, like where you're forced to go somewhere. You can't just track around it. Like, no, you're not allowed to do that. So,
just want to quickly interrupt. I'm going to be going for a shower. Excuse me. I'm just going to go for a shower real quick. So I'm probably going to be away for about 10-15 minutes. Just in case any donations come in, or if you want any donation reads in that time, I'm just not going to be here. So, yeah, essentially, if you ask for any donation reads in the next like 10-15 minutes, I'm not here.
No worries. No problem.
So, I will be back in about 15 minutes. I'll probably let you guys know when I'm back. If not, then when you ask for donation reads and I magically appear, then, you know, I'm here. So, yeah. Speak to you guys in a bit.
No worries. So, with this game being like it is, it obviously has plenty of enemies. They come in all shapes and sizes. Some look like this, where they look like they're ripped straight from Among Us. And that's probably a fair assumption for these characters. But also, not only is it a fair assumption, but it's also something that the game developers actually take the mick out of. Because they themselves ended up actually doing a piece. So during this game, there is actually some envelopes and stuff like that that you can pick up, that you can collect. And the funny thing is, you know, that these are some that you can collect. But here's the thing. If you collect them, then unfortunately, it ends up being a case of you'll find some nods to other games and stuff like that. But you also find out about this black liquid, this mysterious black liquid stuff. So, yeah, here we go. So, the thing is with these puzzles is two quick things to mention. These puzzles require us to be using one sense of direction rather than two at the same time. So, for example, if you have the left and the left and down held together, it slows the line down, I think it is.
Yeah.
Which is something that Linky found, not myself. Linky found that. And yeah, a neat little part of the game. Makes me laugh when it's like, oh yeah, so there's that, you know. It's quite neat. I like it. So yeah, we've got, like I said, with the 90% being like it is, it means that there is a fair bit of stuff that we are going to be skipping. Like I said, we're going to be not saving any of the GMO, and instead just, you know, just going through the game at as fast as possible, and that's about it.
Yeah.
Now, one of the things I will mention, so this is something that Linky calls boxlet. So during the jump, so when I've done runs of this in the past, I've always used the box to get across because it acts as like a platform. So that's what you're supposed to do. But unfortunately, it ends up being case. Yeah, it ends up being a case of, oh no, you're supposed to do this, and
you're being
slow. Like, you're being slow, so you need to not use the box. That's the fast strat. And I was like, oh okay. Anyway, it ends up that Linky was right and I was wrong. Yeah, it's just one of those. Like, there are certain strats to it. The other thing is, as well, that I found out, which Linky might be surprised to hear, is one of the things is that depending on how long you hold the button for the jump will depend on how high you jump.
Oh, jump height?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know about jump height.
I never knew that. I only found out about this the other day, so there you go. Some people just are slower at learning than others.
So now we have the plasma gun, which is one of our key guns. Most of the guns we will end up again are kind of situational, but besides the plasma cutter, I would say the gun is probably the next most useful weapon in the game. The only issue with the gun is the fact that it requires energy. So if you see in the top left, we have our health bar, which is the one that looks like a battery. And underneath that is our energy bar. So every other weapon uses that. So, ooh. I don't know what buttons I'm pressing. Wow.
So right now, there's nothing using that bar at the moment, apart from the gun. That's the only thing that's using that bar. But as we get through this, everything uses it. So your gun uses it. The other power-ups, which we'll get to in due time, all use
what was
it.
That? I got bodied by the laser. It's weird.
If it helps, I've already died.
Oh, so have I.
Might be equal as we thought. There is a goal.
Well, I'm on my second death though, so.
Oh, okay, I'm only on my first.
I had a silly first death.
Oops. The one thing that is worth pointing out here to most people is something that you were saying before, which is that corners can eat your inputs quite easily. I found this out the hard way earlier on with the previous run that I've done. I didn't think it was to do with corners, but they seem to just randomly eat an input from you. I don't know why.
It's so it's to do with slopes. I will guarantee you right now, I will have a death to slopes. I get very unfortunate on the first jump in the room to get the ice gun is where I typically take a death, but it's to do with just the physics and everything. It sort of like eats the first jump because at that point you have a double jump, which is unfortunate, but it's just something we kind of have to deal with right now.
So this is one of the main things here. Is we've got the jetpack, which is a crucial point, a crucial thing in the game itself, and we'll be using it a hell of a lot. However, we're not just using the jetpack. One of the main things that we will be using is the dash. So the dash mechanic for this is absolutely crucial. It's absolutely key that we get it, and the dash is what made this game a hell of a lot faster. Obviously it makes the game fast anyway, but by the right use of using the dash, you can save so much time. And as such, Bruno, the guy who's recently come on the scene and completely smashed the any percent times, has literally utilized the use of it. Would highly recommend watching his run. His run's a 105.52 it is, and yeah, would highly recommend watching it. So we're in the labs at this current moment, and what we want to be doing here is we are literally here for the dash and nothing else. We're not here for anything else. So we're going to collect the dash and then get the hell out of Dodge. So that will be all we're here for. Like I said, the any percent does involve collecting less stuff. It involves collecting none of the GMOs. So as a result, we'll be just, you know, running through everything as fast as possible. And yeah, it works out quite well. You'll notice a lot of rooms can be like running from left to right. Some can take a while. Okay,
yeah, so I believe you actually accidentally found what we class as a major skip in this game.
I did, yes. So, back when I first played this through, I was playing it through and just, you know, casually, just as you do. And unbeknownst to me, stumbled across a fairly unique situation without knowing. What was that unique situation, I hear you ask? Well, turns out there are side bosses in this game, and I had absolutely zero idea that I'd skipped one by complete friggin' accident.
Oh no, he is. He's supposed to be one of the like main bosses before the like main boss, but anyway.
Yeah, I actually had zero clue about this. I had no idea this was a thing. Oh god. Oops. I may have well, that wasn't supposed to happen. I may have, you know that slime thing that we usually jump over and take the lift?
Yeah.
I just sent him up 2 floors.
Oh.
That's never happened before.
Hey, we got it!
Like I actually glitched him upwards. That actually has never happened before. So for those wondering what the heck just happened, so there's that green blob thing you just see me do. Normally we're supposed to run past the thing, and then yeah, you're supposed to run past him, and that's kind of the end of it. You get on the elevator, and
wow,
he doesn't do anything, but yet somehow I managed to make him do that. That was quite interesting.
That was unlucky.
Speaking of lucky or unlucky, one of the things in this game that comes up in the Colbitch skip, we call it, is whether our box decides to be a pain or not. So for those wondering what the box thing is, it's this coming up. So what we're going to do now is we've got to jump like that, and then make sure that that's that. There we go. Nice. Like that. Yep.
There we go. No.
Like that. It's get this right. Oh my god. I didn't mean to do that. That was interesting. Somehow I managed to push the box out of the way and not actually do anything else. Anyhow, moving on. This may be a case of that's never happened before, because we're going a lot faster than usual. However, there is one room more than any other, which funnily enough I'm in right now, that myself and Linky absolutely hate. So this is called the Bubble Room, and
my mortal enemy.
It is your mortal enemy, you're right. And basically the bubbles spawn in a bit of a, I'd say they're a slightly random order, aren't they? More or less.
I think so. I think it's just a really awkward order.
But one of the key things above all else is just it either works or it doesn't work. And yeah, for some reason it just it can work or it doesn't. It really just depends.
That's crazy.
So this is all about the patterns that we've got to make sure we get. So the funny thing is, we mentioned about how myself and Linky were in an event previous to this. Yeah, how we mentioned about myself and Linky were in an event previous to this. So this weekend is getting a double whammy. Genopanic is getting a lot of exposure this weekend. In events, we've actually got the fact that we managed to get it in 2 events is quite phenomenal, to be honest. Especially on the same weekend, on the same day, no less, and right after each other. You just, yeah, as if it was like mad enough that, you know, you've got like a game that is practically unheard of, in one event. The fact that you get 2 back to back, you know, like this is quite phenomenal, to be honest.
Okay. Whoa! 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 That's oh no! Oh no! Okay. Can I? Very odd behavior. Yeah, I might have gotten another. That's never happened before.
Nice. I mean, it's what we do as speedrunners, right? It's
Yeah.
how everything works. Oh, that's never happened before. Okay.
Found a lot of fun things this weekend as it's been showcased for the first time.
Yeah. You just don't know what you're gonna get sometimes.
I forgot about that little ledge. This room's just proven to be quite quirky for me today. Normally it's not that hard, but we have found a couple weird things in this room. Stuff like if you do this a bit too early, you can bonk the side and everything. Like you see I'm waiting until I'm actually underneath it to make sure I'm at the right height and stuff. Me somehow getting electrocuted the... It's a game, it's gonna have quirks, you know.
Yeah. The other thing is, as well, as we've kind of mentioned already, but it's this game is a it is a indie game first and foremost. So realistically, to say, oh, the game's got bugs is a case of, you know, got the
it's like saying the sky is blue.
Yeah, but it's also like, you know, at the end of the day, this game had, you know, a lot of effort put into it, and I'll be honest as well, having played a lot of indie games in like the last year or so. Granted, I've not been playing indie games my whole life because I've always looked down on them, I guess, in some regard, which I know is probably horrendous of me to say. It's like a case of, you know, these guys have put their time and energy into it more than some of the AAA developers have. You know, and they've done a pretty good job with what they've got. I mean, the fact that we're probably going a bit too fast for their liking in their game, it's probably quite interesting. But I think, to be honest, I think that for them personally, that they probably see this as a good thing, because at the end of the day, you know, it's their game that's getting the exposure, and you know, I don't think I could probably argue with that. You know, at the end of the day, their game's getting exposure. What's not to like?
Up at the lasers, whoop! Nice. Don't know why I did that, but sure.
Oops. As we were saying as well, that, you know, at the end of the day, they're doing their bit, and you know, it should be a case of being thankful that they've, you know, at least put the effort into it.
And they've made a fun game that we enjoy.
The other thing as well is that, you know, they've not just a case of that they've made this game into something quite fun, but also, you know, going fast in a game like this, they've actually made it fun to that extent as well. That's another thing too. Always interesting. Also, you'll see a few of the GMOs knocking about. And obviously, as we said, we're not saving any of them. So you'll see Leafy, who they mention there's a bit the plot's in here somewhere, but like one of the things about this game is it does mention about space zombies or something like that, and it's like, wait, when the hell were these a thing, you know? And apparently it was like, oh yeah, they're a thing apparently.
Here we go in the living sectors. So I would say the living sectors is where the game starts to ramp up a lot. The game's like, okay, you've been playing for you've been playing for about an hour in a casual sense. You should be getting used to things. Let's start throwing new things at you.
Like,
so,
for example, they start throwing more lasers and more enemies at you, and new types of enemies as well. One of which is the crab-iders, which at first seem like they're indestructible, but I can assure you they are not. But it also introduces dangers like this, like you can see on my side at the moment, is you've got air things freezing you about, so you've now got to use your you've now got to use your control of the character to make sure there we go.
Kill him just to be safe. If not, probably could take the hit, but we gotta be safe.
The other thing is as well is that some of the things that are here are actually indestructible. You can't, for example, you can't run through a laser. In some cases, you can get you can have death frames, for example, which allow you to get yourself through it, but they don't allow you to, I think what the words I'm looking for are, you know, they don't allow you to like be invincible. Like sometimes you'll take advantage of that in some games, for example, but not in this game. You can't quite do it. There are sometimes, for example, like as I was saying before, that the reason why Bruno ended up getting the record down by so much was because he abused death frames and was like, oh wait, these frames are a thing. These iframes are a thing. So what we can now do is we can now, you know, we can now essentially get through this game without having to worry about anything in particular.
Ooh, not the fun of that.
So what are the main things about this? You'll see now that this is our first introduction to something called black liquid, and it's not the first time that you'll see it, as you will see it again. Now this particular section always gets on my nerves because we've now got to deal with these things called crab-iders, and unfortunately they can be a bit of a pain because they are now going to be getting in my way, which fortunately isn't going to be too big of a problem here.
Arachnophobes are weeping right now.
Yeah, okay, that's alright.
Speaking of arachnophobes.
What?
Why? You're one. How do you manage?
as someone that doesn't like spiders, myself, I don't mind these things. Because whilst, yes, they are spider creature things.
Spider adjacent.
Yeah. I'm like, oh, it's mixed with something, so it's not too bad. It's just, if it's actual spiders I don't like. Now, fortunately, these things do die to fire, so they're not too bad.
Every arachnophobe's reaction to seeing a spider, to be honest, though. So.
Yeah, you've seen one firsthand. Like, she actually has. Not even a joke.
Up we go. I really do hate this wind room with the lasers. Because, you know, you're fighting so much with the controls because the wind is quite strong in this room. It gives me unnecessary stress. Not a fan of it, to be honest.
I mean, it makes sense.
No, I just don't need that extra stress in my life. Please remove from video game. Thank you. Oh no, I fell down. That's fine.
Okay. So, you know that bit you don't like?
Which bit? There's many bits I don't like.
Okay. The one where I do the double jump whilst them lasers are going round in the... Like them 4 lasers are going
Has
round.
it finally bit you in the bum?
It did, yeah, because the friggin' box decided to block my entrance, so I died. I was like, no!
Oh yeah, that's what happened to me in Complete-a-thon.
I managed to get just right at the last time, so... Oh, sugar. Okay.
Yeah, so, what I believe has happened is, about 2 weeks ago this game got updated. But me and Viper have been busy and haven't been able to do any testing yet for this game. It wasn't until Bureno did the run and we were watching it being like, oh, let's see his movement because he does have really good movement. And Viper just happened to click on one of the rooms and I was just still like, Viper, I've never seen that room before in my life. What is that room? Turns out there was a layout change just for one room. It has made it a bit better, I think. So we're then thinking, oh, what else has changed? To what we know, we don't know. That's whoop. But I do think that one of the things is that I'm trying to run away here. My thoughts are a bit scattered. Yeah, so I think that the magnet gun, whoops, might have had like an increased range or something. Because we have tried to do that in the past before and it never worked. But now suddenly in this update it does, so I'm still thinking that's been a thing. That was a bit too close for my liking, but sure. We survived. Yeah, that's one of those sections you should ideally be focusing on, and here I am, trying to yap a bit. Oh no!
Like me, who is not yapping. Oh god, okay.
Sabotage.
That kind of worked, to be fair. No. Okay. Okay. We're good. Go down. Nice. I'm literally just entering the reactor.
Yeah, so we think that might have updated. It could have been other things. We aren't sure. Because like I said, we haven't done much testing. And honestly speaking, I'm not 100% sure how to even go about testing some stuff. You know? But, we'll figure it out. Like, no, don't. Oh, no. The box blocked me as well and shot me into the sky.
As if the box blocking you wasn't enough, it had to rub itself in, didn't it?
Yeah, I am going to go back after this run and clip that because my god, that was amazing. So something similar happened to me in Complete-a-thon as well, where the box shot me up into the sky. Because the physics of this game can be a little bit wonky at times. It happens, you know, when you are dealing with, you know, like physics or physics-based puzzles and stuff like that. You do run the risk of some physics jank at times. It is what it is, you know. But it is something we have. Oh, okay. We have noticed for a while when we were discovering and strategizing Colbitch Skip that the boxes can't launch you because if you remember, we throw the box down and try and get it to land us somewhere so we can go through. So I noticed whenever I was, you know, making sure that's consistent, and it is for the most part, but there's sometimes where, you know, say the box lands weird and you're trying to send it, that the box can throw you up into the sky, and then we thought, can we maybe use this in any part of the run? Unfortunately, no. Not that we can think of, because we unfortunately don't get many boxes in this, in the game. They're very situational. So, box launch is, you know, just a dream for this game. But maybe one day someone will discover some way, somehow. I believe.
Just see how it all goes in the end. Now, it's probably worth mentioning, so obviously I'm in the reactor, which is like the fire part of the game. But it's also worth mentioning too that you've probably noticed already that the guys, they basically blow up the moment you touch them. So it's like, yay, I guess, that they're able to do that. But it does also mean that you're in trouble if you know, you don't end up doing things correctly. I'm gonna get rid of this thing fast. Okay, there we go. Nice.
Okay, that was kind of lucky. Oof.
There is a part, yeah, where you can jump over this guy, but I'd rather shoot him. The other thing is as well is that I remember just mentioning a second ago about how these guys explode. These guys have an interesting radius that can kill you from quite a way away. Like, not that way away. But they can
interesting
kill you.
is a word I would use.
They can kill you from an interesting distance. that you have to like make sure they're on right on the edge, like that, for example.
Yeah. When it comes to those guys, just explosions in general, it's best to be safe rather than sorry. Because even though it looks like it explodes in a like a plus or a cross shape, it sort of more acts as a radius from what I found. So yeah, we try and make sure we stay a good bit away from them because, like I said, they can be a bit of a doozy.
Oh. So getting the dog is a case of, it's not too bad. But there is actually one thing to mention, which regards to our meter. So I've not even mentioned this yet, and it's quite crucial. If you are to do a run of this game, now you can use just varying amount of refresh rates. I know you're thinking, why mention refresh rates? Well, surprisingly or unsurprisingly, it actually allows you to play this game slightly differently. So if you play at 144 Hz, your bar, your meter, will actually last longer. And this is something that Linky stumbled across by complete accident when she was playing the game through, and then was like, wait, that's a thing apparently. Mm-hmm. And I didn't realise, because I was playing on 144 Hz straight from the start. So I was quite surprised when I found out, oh hey, yeah, apparently the game plays slightly different at that frame, at them frames or something.
A huge amount, but what happens is at 144 Hz your meter goes down less, so you oh no, that was really bad. I have to do this again. Yeah, so your meter goes down less, so you technically have more meter to use. So ideally for speedruns you want to, you know, have more meter so you can use your weapons, your boost, everything that isn't just sword basically more. So that's why we play on 144. It just makes sense to do so. But like I said, it isn't a massive amount. It just is a useful thing that gives us maybe an extra second or so of the meter. Just kill him because I don't want to die here again.
The other thing is as well is that one of the things that this Bruno guy did was, unlike us, which are playing it safe for the most part, he was playing it extremely dangerous. And I mean, granted, he got the run he wanted.
Oh no!
But for the sake of this, obviously, I'm playing it safe, and I think he's sort of playing it safe. But
well, I just got soft lock because of the lift.
The worst possible thing to have.
Yeah. Easy fix, but annoying, nonetheless. But yeah, he was really going for it, really. As we said, he was, did we say he was grinding the game down for about 2 days straight?
Yeah.
Which is fair play to him. It's, I'm not sure if it's something I could do, but he was able to then, you know, remember more, figure out a couple of things. Because we don't play the game too much. We try and do weekly races against one another, just to try and, like, you know, force ourselves to play the game, but, you know, encourage it a bit more.
Yeah,
I would say.
That's the main bit. You know, we're at the end of the day, like, we're obviously playing the game because we want to play it and want to do runs of it. Obviously, he was grinding it down, which is fair enough.
But yeah, he was able to do a lot of risky stuff and found a couple new strats himself. Like one that I'm going to try and go for again here, which I actually did get in Complete-a-thon, believe it or not. Which is 2 damage boosts off the enemy to not use the boxes for the flames. So just wait for him to turn.
So I'm out of the fire section. I'm now in collector, which is essentially the water section. Now the water
well I die here.
The water section is difficult to say the least. There's not too much stuff that can kill you, but it's how the levels are designed, especially when it comes down to all this spiky stuff that's here.
Oh no! I'm gonna have to take it down. That's never happened before either.
Oh my god!
Oh. Wow, I'm really having some interesting runs today. So just for Viper's sake and for anyone potentially just listening in, the box blocked my path, and then I tried to take it down, but got confused because I was standing on lava and was like, oh, what's going on? The other box was saving me.
You've already ticked off the bingo part of that's never happened before, and I think that's happened at least a couple more times in this run, I think, hasn't it? You've already ticked it off.
Also, surprise return from our host.
My apologies, yes, I am back. I am back from the shower. I am now squeaky clean.
Nice.
Oh dear. I just happened to catch that commentary as I was making a cup of tea, so I had to respond to bingo.
The fact that it was tea you were having is an interesting one. Can I have a cup of these?
Can I have some? I'm getting stressed.
I don't know if I'll probably get cold by the time it gets to Manchester. I don't actually know where Broken Hyperlink lives either, so
Belfast.
to definitely get cold. Oh, Belfast.
Yeah, it might have to get on a plane and get there.
To be honest, it might actually not be as cold as what it would be if it got to you.
I suppose not, because he's got microwaves and stuff on a plane, so probably not.
Yeah.
Anyhow.
But I'm saying it's probably faster for him to get to me than it would be to you.
True, yeah, it could be.
It could take. I can get to Manchester in about an hour and a half.
You probably could, providing you just jump on a plane.
You have to get to an airport first, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Which I think the closest airport to me is Liverpool.
Oh yeah, okay, that's definitely a big ask.
Oh no, my cold cup of tea, no!
No. But it's also the best cup of tea, it's Yorkshire tea.
Hey! I approve. That's a lot of my friends, although I don't... The funny thing is, I have a friend in Yorkshire, and this is now going to be tea chat, unfortunately, folks. I have a friend in Yorkshire, and he always has Yorkshire tea. As his tea bags, and I said to him, "When you'll never believe what I have." He's like, "What?" I was like, "We have Tesco's tea bags." He's like, "How dare you?" I was like, "Look, at the end of the day, I can't taste the difference between that and Yorkshire tea, if I'm being like completely honest." And he went, "Say that again." I went, "Why?" He's like, "Because I'll be kicking you out the house in a minute." I'm like, "I'm sorry."
I know that there's one supermarket brand tea. I can't remember which one it is. I think it's Morrison's. Because there's one of them that uses the square tea bags like Yorkshire tea do, and I can't remember which one. I think it's rather similar to Yorkshire tea.
That sounds a bit like Morrison's. It probably isn't Morrison's, but it could be.
I think Tesco's uses circle bags.
Yes, they do.
Yeah, and I know Tetley's uses circle bags as well. The fact that I know tea bags by their shape is rather... Because I remember going to a cafe once, and... they had square tea bags, and I told them, "Oh, these sell Yorkshire tea. Oh, wonderful!" Because it's rather rare for some reason to have a cafe that sells Yorkshire tea. Because normally they sell Tetley's, or they sell PG Tips. Normally, either PG Tips or Tetley's is the normal one. But there's a cafe in Wrexham that sells Yorkshire tea, and I'm like, "Ooh, that's good."
You're getting my patronage for now.
So yeah, so they get my patronage when I want a cup of tea, and in most other cafes I get like a hot chocolate or something because I don't trust that they got the right tea.
that is a fair point. That is a very fair point. I will judge you based off your tea, not your hot chocolate.
Fellas in chat, what's your favourite shape of tea bag?
What's your favourite shape? So the shapes that you can choose from are square, which is the correct shape, circle,
or a triangle,
or pyramid, because PG Tips likes to be different for some reason.
Oh, that's just PG Tips.
LC Falco has the correct tea. Is the tea connoisseur too? He or she, I don't actually know, or they. I should probably say they, shouldn't I? I don't know. Square all the way, says Falco.
So we actually have our own brand of tea over here called Numbari.
Jesus, don't make it any more confusing than it has to be. We've already got
some places actually do have it, like I think not surprisingly Scotland do. There's a lot of trading or stuff that, you know, Scotland get that we would have. And it is also a square tea bag, so
fair enough.
It may not be Yorkshire tea isn't really the thing over here. Just because we have Numbari.
Well, we need to make sure that the next time we need to raid Belfast with just infinite boxes of Yorkshire tea. Then, no.
I mean, you can try. I don't know how far you'll get with that, but good luck.
I don't know. I'm not sure if there's border checks on in for Northern Ireland. I don't actually know. Oh, okay. We can take tea to Northern Ireland. That's good.
I'll take her a box over next time I see Linky. Although
I'm pretty sure we do have it. It's just not the tea we use here. You know, because we have Morrison's and Tesco's and everything. I think Numbari's just because it's the local tea. You know.
Yeah.
It's what's drank.
I think. Yeah. So because I had to buy a box of tea the other day. Well, yesterday when I went to Morrison's. So. A box of 240 tea bags at the moment costs about £8.25, which is fucking ridiculous.
Wow.
So yeah, very expensive tea, but very nice tea, so I'm not complaining.
I don't think I should complain at that, to be fair.
I think it's like, you know how some people use Freddos as the, to show how bad, like, inflation is and stuff?
Freddos used to be 10p, but I think at this point they're like £1.50 each or something.
I think 5, I remember.
They're probably less expensive than £1.50. I actually don't know I don't know how much they cost.
The economy has gone to shreds. If now that Freddos are more than £1, if they are more than £1.
I think Freddos are like, aren't they like 30p now?
I feel like it's more.
I don't know.
Falco's just put in the chat. I'm old enough to remember they used to be 2 pence.
2? Oh my god.
Yeah, I remember them being like 5p at one point. I don't remember them being 10p.
I remember them being 10p. Because I think they used to be like 10p.
When they were 10p though, I didn't really care. We didn't know how good we had it, really, did we?
No, absolutely not.
That's the thing. We didn't know how good we had it at 10p.
Yeah.
You don't know what you have until it's gone.
I'm trying to remember what prices I remember. So I remember them being. I definitely remember them being 10p, and I'm pretty sure I remember them being 25p. And I'm pretty sure nowadays they're ridiculously more expensive. In fact, we might have to Google this.
It's like Cadbury's. Your chocolate's good, but not that good.
Oh, Freddo's in Tesco's, the 18-gram like single packet is just 25p. Huh.
500% inflation is crazy.
I will say that, you know, we've had on record, we've had prices of everything going up or down. It's like, now you know it's how bad it gets when it gets to a Freddo.
Yes.
I think it's been like that for a while, has it not?
I think it has, to be honest. Though, to be honest as well, I haven't seen Freddos in stores in a hot minute.
In fairness, I don't know, maybe it's an age thing, but I don't really go to the sweets aisle very often anymore.
I mean, you could say it's an age thing.
Because, I mean, the thing is, I remember when I was a kid, like you'd go to the sweets aisle quite often.
Oh, I still do.
Now
I'm a big kid.
Well, I'll go to the sweets and biscuits aisle occasionally, but it's not like the thing I do all the time if I go shopping kind of thing. I guess maybe it's a case of me living on my own as well and essentially having to fend for myself with my own wage or whatever as well. So again, it might be just money's tight or something, I don't know. But
you tend to be a lot more hypocritical on your spending when you're young.
Yeah, a little bit. You know, when it's my parents that were spending all the money, it's like, oh, I can have whatever I want. But now it's me that's spending all the money. It's like, well, I have to watch it now, don't I?
I can't afford 25p for a Freddo.
Jesus Christ, what am I made of money?
You turn into your mum and dad now.
I'm not made
God,
of money.
am I made of money or
Do I look like I'm made of money?
does money grow on trees?
I mean, it doesn't anymore. It's made of plastic, so.
Yeah, that's a good point, actually. Yeah, next time somebody asks you that question, well, you know, does money grow on trees? Well, technically no, because it's made of plastic.
Right, I better go and make myself a cup of tea.
All this talk of tea has made you thirsty.
It's made me very.
You know what? The worst thing is, I'm actually probably going to get myself a cup of tea after this.
Yeah, I'd
It's actually
recommend
making me thirsty anyway.
I don't know what it is, but every time anyone starts talking about a cup of tea, it just makes you instantly very thirsty and wanting a cup of tea. I don't know what it is. It's just that thing. Right.
I think it's just the communal nature of tea.
Yeah. Because that's what I was going to say, is my work buys Tetleys, so I buy my own box of Yorkshire teas to take with me to work.
That is a good shout. I think mine happens to do that. I mean, what do we have? I think it is Tetleys we have, actually.
Quick, what shape is it?
What shape is our tea? I don't know. Oh, I've not really kept track of it over the years, if I'm being honest. But either way, it's certainly a fun time in work. I don't mind our tea bags at work. They're not the best thing in the universe, but
I don't mind Tetley, but like it has to brew for like that 30 minutes for me to enjoy it. So it's, you know, it's one of those things. I remember because I was doing some. I'll talk about this later. Actually, I need to go make myself a cup of tea. I'll talk about this real funny story about tea after I made a cup of tea because I'm thirsty. Right, see you in a minute.
See you in a minute.
yeah. That's the worst thing ever. Friggin' worst timing ever. Come on. Oh man.
Oh, okay, there we go.
This ice section's been horrendous. Holy hell. Mainly because of the fact of that just happening. Oh.
Yes, Suffo. Don't do well.
I'm gonna have to. Oh god. Actually, I'm gonna have to. Well, there's a new soft lock I've never had before. That is a new soft lock.
Interesting runs today, folks.
Yeah, this isn't supposed to happen, but it's happening anyway. I mean, to be fair, yeah, that's odd. Okay. Right. Now I've got a new place not to die at.
I kind of love the ice section. it's such a juxtaposition compared to the water section, because you go from super slow to going kind of fast.
Going speedy.
It's like you can go speedy, but most of the time you do not want to go speedy in the ice section.
We lost a good part of a minute there. So I'm entering Dogma.
Ooh.
I'm on pretty good pace right now.
Yeah, that sounds pretty good pace.
Had I not had that soft lock, I could be even further ahead.
Ooh. Oh, I got the skip for the box too. Let's go. We're going to Dogma with this one, boys. That did not sound like a good noise.
It friggin' isn't, that's why.
That was really risky of me to do. I'm surprised I survived. We slow down here because that's a risky spot.
Yep. Okay, well, depends how this goes. We go. Whoop! Jesus Christ. Okay, I don't want to die here, but I might end up dying if I'm not careful. Okay.
Yeah, so we're starting to get to the risky section of the run where, especially for me in the ice section, there's a lot of icicles. Whoops, okay. Can just completely ignore that. But once we start to get to Dogma,
that's what we call squeaky bum time, folks. Which
yes,
is basically
very much so.
Which is basically, this is the latter part of the run, where concentration is needed a hell of a lot. So probably now is the time for any sort of blurbs or anything. Although he's got making a cup of tea, so.
I have now made a cup of tea, and I have my cup of tea next to me.
Oh, he's prepared. He is prepared for the long haul.
I am now prepared for the rest of the InstaYabathon.
That's all you need, just one cup of tea.
Well, I've had 5 today. This is my 5th.
Bloody hell.
I think it's yeah, one with breakfast, one at about 10 o'clock, one with my lunch, one in the afternoon, and one now. There we go, 5, yeah, 5 cups of tea. That's
you
my
are
5.
a machine.
That's my 5 a day, that is.
Oh, that's what it means, right. I always got confused. I thought it was something to do with being healthy and fruit and stuff.
What do you mean drinking 5 cups of tea is not healthy?
I've been doing it wrong all these years.
I mean, tea is a plant, right?
I mean,
yeah.
technically, yeah.
And it's mostly water.
And fruit is a plant, yeah?
Yeah.
Tea is mostly water, and so is most fruits. Fruits have a lot of water in them. And, you know, tea has sugar in it, if you put sugar in it. And, you know, most fruits have sugar in it. So tea is just a fruit.
I like that.
Hey, and if you put milk in it, you get your calcium as well.
Exactly, you see, it is healthy.
Yep. I was going to say, fruit doesn't have calcium though.
That's why you add milk.
That's why tea is more healthy.
Oh my god.
We just solved that blooming equation.
We solved health issues. Just keep drinking tea.
Turns out Britain was the pioneer in healthy stuff.
Funny thing is, the UK isn't even the most what is it, country that drinks the most tea or something?
No, it isn't.
UK's actually 4th. Ireland drinks more tea than yous.
Yeah, but I don't think you came up with the idea of tea.
Neither did you. That was China.
Point taken. I just forgot about China being a thing here.
Oh, dog
You
was
just gotta
skipping.
think,
Explain that, didn't we?
who was the genius who decided to put hot water on a leaf and think, oh, this is delicious?
Well, Chinese, obviously.
Yeah.
Wait for him.
So I don't
Yeah,
think we explained dogma skip, which
No, we haven't. I've been that occupied.
we've been too busy talking about tea.
Yeah.
So dogma skip, as you've just seen there, is well, I'll say it now, is if we get into that little tunnel before the animation of the black liquid whose arms we just seen, before that animation finishes, we actually skip the trigger for him to pull down the lift again. So we can we essentially just bypass having to go back and forth a couple of times, saving us about, I'd maybe say, a minute or two. And it's one of those skips where it's so easy to perform and do that, you know, you may as well, once you learn how to actually do it. And like Coldbridge skip, it was found accidentally, which I love my accidental skip finds. They're the best kind.
I did that.
Not the ones that take, you know,
Magic
hours of
Five
research.
I did that myself. I just accidentally found a skip that it wasn't necessarily faster, it was just easier. I
Yeah.
was trying to find an easier way of doing this skip, and I just found it completely by accident.
I mean, that still counts if you can perform something easier.
Yeah. Because the thing is, finding something that's a little bit easier makes it, to an extent, faster
Yeah.
for any given run. It's a case of, if you get to the point where it's competitive, you learn the faster one. But to start off, you could just learn the easier one. But yeah, I just found it completely by accident because I was just faffing about trying to figure out an easier way of clipping through a wall, and it ends up, oh, I can do this, and I just happened to find it. Like, oh, okay, cool. And I have a skip named after me in Ratchet and Clank side letters.
Nice.
So the funny thing is, so we're on the final boss fight here for myself, and basically something funny happens here. So what we've got to do is we need to get out of here by getting to the top of here.
Ooh.
Oh my god. No! No!
Oh, just kill me! Oh
I
my
got
god!
killed. I got killed.
What did you get too close to him?
No, I got killed by the friggin' enemies on the way up the tower.
Oh,
no! There
no!
goes any PB that I had. And I was looking
No.
on top for a really good PB as well. And just to reiterate the words here, the famous line, that's never happened before, I've never died there before, so there goes a PB. And a good one.
I think that might have happened 5 times in this actual marathon now. So does that count as a bingo?
Alright, what do we win? What do we win?
I don't know, clout. I don't have any prizes.
Damn, you get the consolation prize.
You get bragging rights.
Hooray!
So much for... Oh, there's a funny ending that happens here, yeah. Just focus on getting to the end of the room first, eh?
What? just had another. That's never happened before. What are these runs?
How many times that happened in this run alone? Like, how many times that happened when I wasn't here?
I've lost track, to be honest.
Because next time you guys do a run here, I think we need to have like a thing that for every time something that hasn't happened before, you donate some like amount of money or something.
That's time for me anyway.
The amount of times it's happened is remarkable. Because normally people do like, oh, we'll donate £1 for every death or something.
It would PV by 2 minutes, but if I'd got me run as I got it, I would have been another minute and a half ahead. So it could have been like a 1:11.
Why is that
It was
not
1:13. But anyhow, yeah. So one of the things that's happened a few times. So you get to the top, and the rocket leaves, but you stay behind. Oh no! Wait, take me with you. But it doesn't.
You're a monster. You didn't save the animals.
So you have to save the GMOs, and if you don't, the rocket leaves you behind and goes on its own, and you have to stay behind on the planet thing, the space station. But
have you timed?
Yeah.
Right.
It was 1:13:36 on my end. I was timed on my side.
Well, I got 1:14:35.
Yeah, a bit later, but it's fine. It's still PV regardless, though. It was 1:14.
It's ahead of me, so that's the main thing.
One of the main things that I want to mention, you have there's two different finishes. There's either you have save all GMOs, or this one. If you save all GMOs, you get the good ending where you get to go away in the rocket. But if you don't, you die. It ends up being a bit different. Also, 1:09:37 in game time. Nice.
Not bad.
But yeah, as I was saying, so in terms of like the two endings, if you save all the GMOs, then you're able to get into the. You're able to go into the rocket with the GMOs, and you can fly away. But if you don't save all of them, even if you collect 5 out of 6, the rocket leaves you behind and says, no, you're not going anywhere, sunshine, you're staying here. So the rocket leaves you behind every time. So the 80% involves us just getting to the door of the rocket. But if you do save all GMOs, you get to the rocket, press the button to get in the rocket, then there's some dialogue which takes like an extra 10-15 seconds, and then or 20 seconds even, and then you have to press the button again to get in the rocket, and that's when time is on GMOs. So the ending point is different depending on the category. So with 80%, obviously mine was when I got to the end. And as for the rest of the game, yeah, there is, like I said, there's two categories. The 80%, which we just showed off, this save all GMOs. I'll say this whilst Linky's still finishing her run. The save all GMOs takes like an extra 20 minutes, depending, it's about 10-15 minutes really. But obviously you need to learn the rooms that they're in and the puzzles, and work out like the cycles for stuff and things like that. But I will highly take that. I will highly take that run regardless. There is a prologue only, which again we mentioned earlier in this run, which you can find on Steam. If you go on Steam and type in Genopanic, you'll find Genopanic for sale. Obviously you can get that for a couple of bucks, and Genopanic Prologue. And the prologue we've actually done a speedrun of, and it's about 15 to 20 minutes. Casual playthrough wise, it's about half an hour, 40 minutes. Genopanic will probably set you back 2, maybe 3 hours, depending on how skilled you are, and how many times you die. It's worth noting as well, so you only get, there's no upgrades to the health bar, so you take 3 hits, that's it. Or you can insta-death at some obstacles. A lot of hazards can be insta-death. Which can reset you back. Fortunately, checkpoints are a thing. There are soft lock points, which you've seen myself Linky encounter, where you have to come out the game and go back in, or just take a death deliberately so you don't get stuck. And then the last thing is that would recommend, like I said, give this game a try. There is some hidden bits in the game which we won't mention too much of, other than there was supposed to be a crab-eyed boss, spider sort of looking thing, and just wasn't in the game for whatever reason. The animation's done, everything like that. You can even find the press pack for this game on the website or on Keymailer, where Genopanic was, where I got this game from. Thanks to the developers, by the way, for giving me the game key for this. And yeah, that shows off a lot of assets. It gives you graphics design, covers, backgrounds, videos as well, various things. And yeah, I think that's it from my side. Depends on where Linky's up to. I think she's concentrating.
Oh no! No! The Xbox thing appeared on my screen for a brief second. That was terrifying. Time. That is a PB by 5 minutes.
1:19:14 is what I've got. You might have timed it better later.
I would tell you what I got, but in that panic of the Xbox thing appearing on my screen, I accidentally split.
Oh.
But it is about a 119.
That's fine.
A low 119, which I'm happy about. I finally got a 119.
Hey.
Oh, a sub 120. Hooray!
Hooray! We got a PB.
Woo!
Mark that on your bingo
Double
card.
PB.
It's a rare thing to mark on your bingo card. Mark it on the bingo cards. That does happen occasionally at InstaYabathon.
So
And we sometimes get world records as well. We've had world records at a few events, which is always nice.
I'll just speed up the credits here, so we can see what the final IGT time is.
Probably worth mentioning as well. So when you finish runs, there's the IGT that shows up at the end, and the IGT is what we go off in game. Although we go off RTA mainly, but IGT is in there for the sake of, you know,
1:17:09.
Nice.
Nice.
Very nice.
Yeah. Well, I feel kind of good after that run. Could have been better,
not
but
bad for doing 2 Genopanics back to back.
yeah. You know, I'm gonna use that first run as my warm-up run, because that getting a 117 IGT is definitely a big improvement for me. Because now we're getting down to the point where you're starting to try and save, you know, seconds at this point. So the fact that I was still saving minutes is quite good.
Very good, very good. Right then, so we will in a moment be moving on to our very last run of InstaYabathon first today. Not the very last run of InstaYabathon, that's a misspeak on my part. I'm tired, I do apologise.
Drink more tea!
Yes, I still have a cup of tea to drink here. But yeah, so our next run, which will be the last run of today, but we are back tomorrow morning. The last run of today, which is going to be South Park Story Mode, all cheats, full game. That's going to be by LCPL Falco. We'll be going over to that in about 10 minutes time. So we're putting the intermission screen back on again. But don't forget, of course, we are doing this as a charity event for the Yellow and Blue Hub. It's a community hub based in Wrexham here in North Wales. If anyone would like to donate, !donate in the chat, we'll bring up the donation link. And for some reason it's not letting me refresh the page. There we go, refresh the page. But yeah, so if you'd like to donate, then please do so by going to the link in !donate. Our current running total is £155.90, which is absolutely incredible. Thank you everybody who has donated so far. We have a few incentives, of course, you can donate to. You've got the Pokemon Puzzle Challenge. Choose a Pokemon. Pikachu is winning at £100. If you want to change that, be sure to donate to that. Red Dead Redemption, choose a horse. Normal is winning at £10. Again, the other options all have 0 at the moment, but if you want to change the course of that one, then be sure to put your donations towards something else. And Mario and Sonic at the Sochi Olympic Winter Games currently has no donations towards it, but there's an option between having Mario or Sonic's Figure Skating Spectacular, and currently none of them have any donations towards it. If you'd like to see one of them, then be sure to put your donations towards that as well. The Sneak King 50% new game, Enter the Void by Kefka14. That has met its donation incentive with £111 out of the £50 that it needed. So it has been met, but there's nothing stopping you from adding more donations to it to absolutely cement the fact that we're going to be seeing it tomorrow, and that'll be the last run of the day as well. But be sure to be donations towards an incentive if you want to. It doesn't cost any extra, and it goes to a fantastic cause as well. So, do you both have anything else you'd like to say before we finish?
I'll let you go first, Linky.
Just that if anyone wants to follow, you can find me at twitch.tv/brokenhyperlink, and my socials are either brokenhyperlink, brokenhyperlink_SRC, or SR, or some variation of that. Typically I run weird or obscure, however those tags are not mutually exclusive, Sonic games, and I unfortunately don't have a regular stream schedule, so I just stream whenever, so if you notice me streaming, pop in, say hi, it's always appreciated. And thank you InstaYabathon for allowing this race, and I think that's all for me.
Yeah, I was going to say, from my side, many thanks to having myself participate, and glad to see so many people turn out for it, as you know, as small of an unknown as this game might be. You find me over at Viper Races over on Twitch and on Discord as well under a similar sort of name. Feel free to join the Genopanic community and share your experiences there. It's not really a speedrunning server per se, it's a general community. That's the best thing I can kind of give in terms of that. There's only three runners, three runners for this game at this current moment. Myself, Linky, and of course Bruno I mentioned before, who's done the any percent and completely smashed it. If you're looking to try something new, give this game a try. It will challenge you. It won't challenge you as bad as, say, Dark Souls. You'll learn how to adapt to everything like that, and you'll learn how to get used to the game over time. But play through it first. Would highly recommend starting, if you want to start with any sort of speedrun for Genopanic, start with the prologue first. That gives you a brief glimpse into the game and how it's going to be. And if you, like I say, if you feel like you want to buy this game, you can do. It's only a small indie developer game, so it's only like, I think, $8 or $9, or like a couple of quid for us in the UK. And yeah, that's kind of all I've got to say from my side, apart from, obviously, once again, as Link has already said, thank you to InstaSpeedathon for allowing us to do this race. And yeah, I'll pass it back over to the host.
No problem at all. Thank you both for taking part. Viper, we will see you again tomorrow,
Yes.
about 2 o'clock in the afternoon for Horizon Chase Turbo. And Hyperlink, we will see you again, hopefully, at the next event, or at any other event in the future that we do. With something, with anything really, we accept loads and loads of games, so anything really goes when it comes to InstaSpeedathon marathons. So thank you everybody for watching. We will be going over now to our next run, South Park, Story Mode All Cheats. We will have some music in the intermission from our great affiliates of Epidemic Sound. If you do want to check them out, there is a link down in the panels below as well for that. But we'll go over to that in about 5-10 minutes time or so. Thank you for taking part, and we'll see you again next time.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.